Bucinator.
Bucinator.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry.
I thought the paramidalis was down here with the.
This one, i.e., you can have more than
Right.
one. Like you can have the word biceps.
Right.
This is named, allows you to flare out your nose.
What about it?
And it's named because of its shape. I have no idea what this one does, but it's a neat one, so.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you see a number there? Someone with good eyes?
Zygomatic major. Zygomatic major.
Shut the
36. What's 36?
You see okay though?
Zygomatic is major.
Major.
Is it major or minor?
Major's on the bottom, minor's on top.
Oh, and then this one up here,
That's the minor.
there's your minor. Why are you people giving me great grief? 38.
Bucinator.
No,
No?
not bucinator. Is that 38?
Triangular.
No.
No, that's not.
Like, can you show it on the side? Like
Oh, right.
Rhizorius.
Rhizorius. Do you see a number for you people?
Rhizorius.
38.
R-I-O-S. No, R-I-S-O.
How do you spell that?
R-I-S-O-U.
R-I-S-O-R-I-U-S.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Now, how many muscles have I given you?
2, 4,
Anybody
6,
write them down?
Yes.
How many?
4,
7.
6, 7.
I typically don't ask much more than these. Oh, wait, I lied.
Orbicular occlusion.
What's this one?
Temporalis.
And this one here, you already got there.
Masseter.
Okay. Now, what's this white line?
Linea alba.
These two here, and this one here.
Rectus abdominis.
What's this one here? Okay. Again, for its shape.
Pyramid.
Yeah, the.
One or two words.
Can it be one or the other?
Yes,
Okay.
you got a choice.
Okay. Interstitial.
Intersection.
Tenderness, inscription.
Intersection.
Yeah,
Tenderness intersection.
yeah.
So either one's acceptable.
Either one, I'll probably forget, but because I'm an old man. External oblique.
Internal oblique.
Transverse abdominis.
Don't forget that second part. What are these right here? And I had great grief because I had students that say, "You never taught us that."
It's on the slide.
Last fall. Believe it or not, I generally know what's on the test. By the time I make the test, the key may be screwed up, but I know what I want, what I want for the test. At least I'm honest with you, and I tell you I screw up. Okay? What I'm really trying to teach you, just because the person's a doctor or your charge person, doesn't necessarily mean that they're right. Always question, but if it's someone above you, be diplomatic. What often you do is you, instead of saying, "Hey, dummy," what you do is you ask them a question and then ask them another question that will get them to understand that they made a mistake. Some people, their egos are tied into it. But most of you, when you are fighting with your spouse, often because your egos are tied into it, even when you realize during the argument that you're wrong and they're right, you'll continue to argue.
'Cause
If
I'm
you're
a
smart,
woman.
what you'll
Submit.
do is you'll start to change things around, and pretty soon you're
Different
arguing,
argument.
Yep.
My husband
and
tried
they don't know what
I'm
happened,
a pro.
but they're arguing your point, and you're saying, "What are you talking about?" And they think about what they're saying, and they're saying, "How did that happen?" I said, "I don't know." Now, on man, this is Petralis minor, and in man, this is Petralis major. In the cat, the size is reverse. The minor is larger than the major. There is no pectoantibrachius, nor is there a xiphi humoralis. But as one of you, I think the people over here were talking about, cats actually have more muscles. They're far more agile than you are. Okay? So they have some of the similar muscle glands, but they have specialized muscles. You know about the serratus anteriors. Be aware along the back there's a group of muscles which are called the serratus posteriors. Okay, and be aware, we've got plenty of these abdominal plates. Some of you notice, and I my apologies to the other three groups, you for this table, my favorite.
Alrighty then.
Lie.
I tied up a cat full bondage. And a tail. And what I had is a head on the hind limbs and the forelimbs, where you could see it from one side and on the other side. We will probably have 3 of the 4 cats out on that table, and then these tables filled with little face models or mannequins on wheels or mannequins
Teresa.
laid out.
I'm
Or-
recording and she's putting a freaking
Oh,
paper
no, you
in
can
front
still
of
see
my
him. You can still see
webcam.
him.
Okay.
You just can't see me.
Just
You're afraid that if you're photographed, the evil your spears will be taken away,
Yes. Yes.
or that your husband said you are not to have your picture put on the internet.
It is, yeah. He's crazy.
Except now they've said, Teresa, the paper's fallen a few
Exactly.
times.
I'm gonna get beat now.
With an ugly stick.
Like, erase the video.
Now see, according to Human Resources, even making mention of that, the supervisor has to
Report it.
report it.
Now you've done it.
There's no supervisor here.
Yeah, she's not gonna report herself.
Okay, so at least be aware of how I'm going to test you. Now, the arm muscles, next week. Okay. There are a couple of muscles on the cat that I want you to observe, but there's going to be a lot of models. You may not be aware of it, but the class is getting a little smaller. I think we lost 3 people this week. Okay? Some of you, as I said, and I don't know who, have 3 absences. If you miss another one and I email you and ask you about your absences and you ignore it, I could simply drop you. Some of you have had conditions in which you have something going on, and you at least, please be aware of this. When you're dealing with a hierarchy in an organization, you're always a lot better off giving a heads up to your supervisor and the people above you, especially